Hello everybody and welcome to Tower of God episode 2 anime review. They're going through this quite quick. I've not read the original as I've said, but it feels like they're going quite quick through everything. Maybe that's just me. It seems like a good end point would have been before the whole meat water thing. That was only like halfway through the episode. I don't know, maybe I'm just being, as I say, not being familiar. Seems like they're covering a lot of ground. Maybe that's just me. But no, this episode we got introduced to more characters than just Bam. So that's nice. We have Kun, who is probably my favourite so far. He's like a little cool dude. And then Rak, who is a lizard or an alligator, and he's kind of weird. When he speaks, it doesn't always look right with the animation. It's obviously a thing. It's because he's a lizard, but it's not like a deal breaker. It's fine. It just looks kind of weird sometimes, and I do mean sometimes. Most of the time, it looks fine. We also met some other characters whose names I didn't write down. There's the green girl, the samurai dude, their companion, the dude in the tracksuit. Who else was there? There was the admin guy. There's a lot of people got introduced. I hope they weren't expecting me to remember this all just from this episode, because I'll get there, but I'm not there yet. Anyway, let's dive into the episode, see what went down and how everything went down. Let's do this thing. We start with a little flashback of Rachel teaching Bam how to read and write and everything. Like, I do wonder what's going on with her, because she's listed as like a main character and she's not really shown up yet. I gotta imagine she'll show up later on. I feel Swerve coming. Something's up and I don't know what it is, but I feel it in my bones, you know? But anyway, back to present day. Briefcase guy, who we later find out is called Kun, makes fun of the lizard man for a bit and then goes about his way. He winds him up for Bam and then leaves. But then he spots the sword, the sword Bam's got, and he's like, well, now I have to find out what it is. And that he does. He helps Bam escape from the dude, asks him where he got the sword and everything, and Bam basically tells him everything. Later on as well, he tells him his entire backstory, which to be fair isn't a lot. He's like, I forgot everything, then I met Rachel, now I'm looking for her. That's essentially what we know of Bam's backstory so far. So yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, he tells him practically everything, so Kun, he's a trusted source for definite. They go on their way, go find, what are they doing? I can't remember, they just go on their way. Can't actually remember what they were doing. Then we see Green Girl and the samurai having a little bit of a scrap with the tracksuit dude watching as well. As I said, I will learn people's names. You know, as going forward, I'm doing my best, as always. Tells Kun his backstory. Kun doesn't want to play exactly by the rules of everything. He's like, nah, I'm just going to find allies. That's my plan. I'm not going to kill no one. And it's like, you know what? It's probably a good plan. I get the feeling he's plotting something. Like he's here maybe to take down the tower, take out the king or something. I have no idea. But I feel like he's up to something, you know, and that's good. I like not knowing what he's up to. So that's also good. But yeah, they get jumped by Rak, but before he can attack them, Rak is the alligator. I don't remember if I said that. I think I did. They get attacked by him. Time limit runs out. However, Rak is still attacking them. The next goal, or next objective, next test, whatever it is called, I can't actually remember. Next test is to basically find 2 allies who have 5 minutes. Which sounds really easy, but actually in practice it's not. So Bam and Kun are allies. They're like, alright Rak, be our ally. He's like, nope, don't wanna. I wanna fight you instead. And that happens for a bit. They fight for a bit. Green Girl and the samurai team up. They ignore the tracksuit guy because he's not as strong as them. But eventually we find out he does, I guess, coerce them into teaming up with him. Meanwhile, Kun and Bam essentially trick and bait Rak into teaming with them because he's attacking them. I should have said this is an obvious thing. The requirement was you have to be touching by the end of it, so they just like jump on him as the time limit runs out, and that's how they succeed. It was pretty inventive, pretty genius. Kun is a smart guy. Bam is, I mean, he doesn't come across as a smart guy, but you know that's not really his fault. He doesn't know anything, like, at all. He knows what Rachel told him, and that's about it. So, who knows? But yeah, then they get... Did they get teleported? They end up in another area, is basically what happens. It's a waiting room type area. It's not too impressive. Rack is still trying to fight them, but then they calm him down with the power of snacks and crisps and other snacks. Probably some chocolate bars in there too. I didn't actually pay attention, but he eats a lot of food. We see like a bunch of the people that passed and the teams and everything. And I'm like, man, these guys are all going to be important at some point, aren't they? I really should learn people's names. I'll get on that, I promise. Test admin shows up. He's like an important dude. He's a ranker, is that what they're called? Yes, basically a ranker. And they're people that have climbed to the top of the tower before. So they're very strong, very cool, very powerful. This one, he says, no fighting. There's too many of you. We've got to get rid of some of you. So then he makes a big old water wall. It's called, I wrote it down, the thing that the water's called. Shinzu, but it just looks like water to me. Pushes them all back and makes a little wall with the Shinzu. Basically, it's like, your test, get through that. And so that's what they do. However, Bam doesn't get pushed back by the water, so he gets a pass, basically. So, Bam cheater confirmed. It was either the sword, the fact that he's irregular, which we learn more about in a minute. They also corrected the subtitles to irregular instead of non-regular. Thank you for that. That makes a lot more sense. What else? It's one of them too. It might just be the sword. My gut is telling me that it has something to do with it, or it's something to do with Bam's backstory that he's forgotten. That's also a possibility. But yeah, got to get through the wall. Bam and the admin dude are taking bets. They both bet on the green girl to get through first, and she does. So they've got good instincts, I guess. There's probably more to it than that, but for right now, all I know is good instincts. The samurai dude also comes to pass. There's a lot of people go through. Bam asks Matey Boy if he's seen Rachel, and he's like, no. And it's like, well, that was a waste of a question then. Then he asks about irregulars. Finds out more about that. Basically, well, we'll get to it in a minute. There's a woman who is acting all cocky, and she just headbutts the water because she's not strong enough to get through in one go. So, yeah, but no, then we learn about the irregulars. Apparently, everybody was born and raised inside the tower. It's like its own thing. But Bam and Rachel weren't. They're from outside the tower. So, I don't know what to make of that. Are they like outside? Well, they're obviously outsiders. Are they like cast out of the tower for some reason? Maybe that's it. Maybe they were cast out of the tower, like banished, and then like Rachel's family lived there, but she's a kid born outside the tower, so that's why her memory's not gone. But Bam was just thrown out of the tower, not literally, but you know what I'm saying. And then he loses his memories. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's when you leave the tower you lose your memories. I have actually no idea. I'm completely spitballing. I'm probably completely wrong, but hey, that's half the fun of it, you know. That's, you know, guessing what's going to happen is half the fun of watching things. That's what I think, anyway. Some guy causes a stink because like, this is not fair, man. So the dude drowns him in Shinzu. He doesn't actually die, but he's like, this is what you're going to have to face up there. If you can't handle this, get out, man. You no point. And he's like, I lost everything. It's like, well, that's your own fault. You gave up everything to do this and you're not good enough. So you should have had a contingency plan. Always have a contingency plan, is I think what the dude was implying. And that's a good thing to say. Kun and Rack finally go through. They just go through. They were waiting just to see what everyone else was doing, but they just made it. They're strong enough to get through. Weird thing though, for some reason the briefcase briefly got stuck in it. So either there's something in the briefcase that the water was picking up on, so it wouldn't let it through immediately, or something, or maybe it's just that Kun isn't quite as strong as Rack. I think there's something in the briefcase though. I think that's what they were implying. That's what I got from there. But yeah, anyway, then to what is it? No, admin man. I forgot about this actually. I'm glad I checked my notes. Tells Bam, don't get close to Kun, and it's like, oh, he's definitely scheming something. He's definitely up to something. I think he's a good guy, whereas the royal and the tower people are bad guys. The people running the tower, and I think he's like a rebel. I'm literally, again, just spitballing. This seems like the type of series, franchise, whatever you want to call it, where with really dedicated fans that will shout at me for not knowing anything. So I hopefully that's another thing that's happened. So if it has, I apologize. I'm getting into it now. It's good. I think it's really good so far. So there's that. Then we get the anime trope where shouting makes you more powerful. They shout their way through the water, and a few more do it. The tracksuit guy and the girl that headbutted the water. There might have been a few others. I can't actually remember. But then they get to the third test that's coming up next week. Well, it's definitely going to be next week, assuming there's no delays. Never be sure anymore. And then some guy who I'm assuming is the king of the tower. He knows Kun's name, his full name, which, you know, I didn't write it all down, but he knows his full name. So maybe he's heard of him, maybe he knows of him or something. Maybe he's like a prodigy or he's a rebel or something. I have no idea, but I'm assuming he's up to something. I think I'm more trusting of Kun than I am the tower people at the moment. That's definitely where my allegiances lie, but that's where my gut is telling me to support. So that is what I will do. Oh, excuse me. That was the end of this week's episode. Like I said briefly at the beginning, felt like they went really quick through some things. Like maybe if they'd taken more time on each, on each character, like they could have done a bit more with the green girl and the samurai. Maybe there's more coming, as I said, I don't know, but maybe could have introduced them a little bit more better. A little bit more better? That's not it. That's not what I meant at all. But yeah, no, I like that there's different groups. I like that at the moment it's not just main characters group, everyone else. You know, you got the Bam's group, you got the Green Girls group, you got the even the wall headbutt. There's a sleepy guy as well. Like there was a bunch of other characters who, yes, I might not know their names yet, but I'm presuming they'll be at least somewhat important later on. So that's a thing I'm looking forward to. Anyway, I guess I'll wrap up here. I can't think of too much else to say. I'm enjoying it so far. That's a thing. The fan base seems very dedicated, so I hope I haven't annoyed anyone. That's the thing I'm more worried about than anything else. This seems like a thing that the fans absolutely love, and I think they're doing it pretty well, not having seen the original. Like, just from what I'm watching, this is good. So, yeah, thumbs up. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out a lot. I will see you next week for another episode of this, and bye guys.